Hey everybody, so today I just wanted to talk with you about the Secret Services and how they're involved in all of this targeting and surveillance. Um, when I tried to make a thumbnail for this video, they kept showing me men in like black overalls and I know black coats, like trench coats and hats on and glasses. And that's how they want people to see the Secret Services. When in actuality, they wear common clothes and they walk amongst us. I know this is obvious, but I think we don't take, sometimes things are obvious, but we don't think about it. So when you're out and about, like the people you see, if you're targeted specifically, but also I think in most situations, a lot of the people you come across and you have interactions with are agents. Some of them are just normal people controlled, but there are actually, I wanted to focus on the actual agents that are involved in, monitoring and surveillance. And I want to talk a bit about how they're doing it, what their tactics are. Now, I can only speak from my own experience, so I can't 100% say what other people go through, but I've become very aware that there are many people set up. Now, if you stick to the end of this video, I went to an event yesterday and I did a recording that I probably would have posted about midnight, but if you stick to the end of this video, I will show you an instance of how they behave. I recorded an instance. I'll talk about it later anyway. So what I will say is I've written it down. So I'm going to go read through my notes. I wrote it very roughly, so hopefully I can read what I've written. And then you can tell me in the comments what you think. So my nose has just suddenly got a bit more blocked. So do excuse my nasal voice at the moment. So this video is about the Secret Services and the network parasites technology they use to monitor and surveillance people. So a lot of these people are military. A lot of them are just like secret society, like all of the secret societies, like the Freemasons, and a lot of the other. In America, they have like Skull and Bones, but they have in each industry they have their own like they have members who are part of the secret societies that do this monitoring and surveillance, and they are heavily parasite infected, and they use them as monitoring services. I will say on top of that, they can use anyone to monitor anyone. They can do remote viewing. So I will talk about this in another video, but they can do remote viewing to see through your eyes. So that's how they can hack people's bodies. And that's how a lot of like when you go outside and you come across a lot of people, a lot of these people they can be hacked to watch you, to interact with you. So some of them are specifically agents and some of them are just people who have been hacked. So anyway, let me get into my notes. So excuse my nose. There is plainclothes agents, like I mentioned before, what they actually do as a job and what they want and you to. Oh, okay. So this is just the note that I made. So anyway, they walk amongst you. Some may follow you. I'm just reading what I've written, and I'll just relay that. Yes, and it's not always one person. Sometimes it could be groups, it could be couples. I've been followed by a couple for quite a while, but I haven't really noticed them recently. But I would also notice they sounded exactly like the voices that I could hear, and they will use people. Like I say, they can be on people as well, so you could never really truly know who is who. But I wrote here how to spot a Secret Service agent. So they will always watch you. Sometimes you can catch them, sometimes it's indiscreet. They need to do this to get an image or connect to you. So obviously the technology they use is like a spirit, it's the hive mind, and it's parasitic technology, or so they can connect to people. And you can do this too as well, because that technology is like part of it is natural systems. You can connect to people by just projecting your thought onto them and stuff like that. That's what they do. They tend to project their thought. They will do stuff like, so this comes into like the witchcraft, the wizardry type of things. But they will like put hooks on people, or they will put like what is the word, like cords on people to connect to them so that they can follow them around and keep a track of that person's energy signature. So they do that. So again, with that, I would just say, cord cutting ceremonies will be good, like to cut all cords. You have to do this on a regular basis, especially if you go out. So as soon as you go out, like you get back home, then I guess you would have to do that, or like it's part of the spiritual maintenance that we haven't been taught about because they didn't want us to know. So we have to carry on doing that. So yeah, they need to do this to get an image. Yeah, so I said that and connect to you. Do not expose your appearance if you can avoid it. Now, this is a tough one, and I don't think this is necessary because obviously people will think, what is this person doing? But when, people, when they get an image of you, so when these Secret Service agents, they know how you look like, they monitor like your social contacts and your social media, your internet activity, and all of those things. So they, have they, to them, they feel like they understand, they get a grasp of who you are as a person and what you like and what you don't like. They also have images of you if you have put your image up on computers. In the past, they couldn't do this because we only took photos by camera. Now, because everybody posts their stuff on social media, your image is likely out there. So if you haven't done that and your image is not out there, that's good. But what they do is they will take image of you. Now, this is like witchcraft. Like, they do use a lot of witchcraft and like curses and all those type of things. So they will take it. So they have the image of you and they will use that to like do whatever their intentions are. There, they can remote view and all that type of stuff through your image. So obviously, as you grow, you change. So they can't. And what you can do is revoke your essence from anything that they possess. So any of your possessions that they have, you can revoke your energy, or your signature, from that thing. That's one of the things I was gonna say. So yeah, if you can avoid putting your image out there, like I will probably take down my videos with myself in it, but I will probably re-record those videos and just have like my new videos. What I would also say is, what else would I write? You would think they will act casual. So as soon as you step out your house and people walk down the road and you walk past them, they, like, if they are agents, they will act casual as if nothing is. They won't even interact with you, but they just want to pass you because, like, again, with the technology that they have, it's about passing from person to person. It's like head hopping. That's what they do. So I know this is a bit like strange to a lot of people, and I think those who get it will get it, but it's what they tend to do. So they have a head hopping, they head hop people to get access to the person that they're monitoring or they're targeting. So don't think of like, so when you think of the Secret Services, you think of, oh, they're just in some little building sitting there doing nothing. No. Or they're in MI5 or MI6. No, they are, in the environment. They're out monitoring people. They do this from like day till night. Like this, they're out there all day doing these things. So anyway, yeah, so that's about them acting casual. They set up people on the streets before you've even left the house. So they tend to know what your schedule is. Either you write it in your organizer. They have monitoring spirits on you, so they monitor you in your home. They know, they can hear your thoughts. So another thing I was a bit, because I didn't know whether to share this or not, because I did not want to make people extra paranoid or like make their experience here on earth a bit worse. But it is a reality that they can hear your thoughts. The technology is advanced that they can hear your thoughts because our thoughts give off they emit frequency. And so although we're all walking around thinking to ourselves ignorantly and just moving around, they can actually hear the signals sent from your brain when you have a thought. So they can also send thoughts into somebody's head. The technology is all there. If you don't believe me, go do the research. It's all there. It's all been documented. There are patents for this stuff. So anyway, I might do another video about that specifically, but I don't know. It depends how I feel. But again, do your research if you do not believe, because this is what I've observed is happening. They act casual. So let me see. I don't want to miss anything, and also I don't want to have to edit this video, so I'm going to make it as simple as possible. I will do edits, but as minimal as possible. They try to get near you. So if you're on a train or in the bus, they always come near you, and then they'll try to distract you with their behavior. And that's another one they love to do, distraction techniques, and that's also, we call it street theatre. So street theatre is when you go outside and there's like commotion, the people making noise. So they try to take your attention, distract you. I have mentioned this before in previous videos. Another thing I did write down, which is very true, is that if you're being targeted, and I think most people are, and most people are just not aware, you've probably met the handlers or the agents, the Secret Service agents that, who monitor you and who listen to your thoughts and try to invade your body. You've probably met them in real life. Even if not directly, they will use other people to interact with you. So it's just what they do. There is a whole system. This also goes to ancient times. Like in the past, in ancient times, they would have called these people the Watchers. In modern days, they've changed that. They use AI, they use other systems. They, like I said before in my previous video, they upload people's consciousness to the system. Now it's hive mind. They call it hive mind, where everybody's minds are connected. So you might think something, and somebody else like a mile away thinking the same thing occurs to them. They use that to try to control our consciousness. Look into consciousness technology, because that's a whole other thing. They use that to try and control our consciousness, and they thought they could make, well, I believe that they thought they could, make us all follow their regime. But now that people are waking up, like, the whole system has been messed up. So I'm very grateful that I live in this time and where all these things will be exposed, are being exposed. All these things have been exposed, and everybody is waking up to it. And that's what we need. So they often wear sunglasses. So if you see somebody wear glasses in, like, even just in general, a lot of them wear glasses. They'll be watching you so you can't see them. Also, it has to do with the connection. But anyway, I won't go to that now. But you often see them wearing sunglasses. So not all the time, but it's very common. I just want to mention here that there are glasses that can connect to the internet as well. So they might try to speak to you, like struck up a conversation. So like you're just at the bus stop and some random person comes and sits next to you, says hello. Like, you probably have interacted with them and they talk to you. So that to me is, that's quite common, I think. They use remote viewing. So the technology they use remote viewing. If you don't know what remote viewing is, it's when somebody sends, like, they transfer themselves from their consciousness from somewhere to somewhere to someone else to see the environment they're in and the location of the person. They can find things as well. Look into that. I'm not going to go to it in this video, but yeah, remote viewing, they use that all the time. So they do things like they will use your belief systems against you. So that's another thing. So you will notice also, so a lot of these police officers are part of these secret societies and are involved in the targeting. They know what they're doing, so they will act innocent, like they don't know, but like these people know what they're doing, and they will try to target people around you as well. And they'll come into your environment, and yeah, that's how they are. So they tend to do that to get like a closer, a bit more common, like up to date image of the person. So I did say they hijack bodies. Possession is something that I haven't really spoken about in a while, and I've talked about it in my past videos. They can possess people's bodies. They can possess most people's bodies who have like parasites in them. I will move on to another thing that I'll talk about: vaccines and injections. So most vaccines are what they use to infect the population. That's why you can't be born in this world without and like live a normal life without vaccine, from a baby without the vaccines, because they want to control the population and hijack people's bodies. Now, for those people who are new to this concept or are not believing of what I'm saying, I just wanted to say that you may be under everybody's under surveillance, but if you're ignorant to the realities of surveillance and how prevalent it is and how common these secret services agents are on our road and a part of our lives, then especially if you have loads of like people that you're friends with, not necessarily your friends or your family, but they will use them, but they indirectly, they can, like I said, they can possess people, they control them, but there'll be people you come into contact with that will be part of this situation. So, and I don't want to scare people to like not hang out with people or meet new people. I just want you to be aware. So what I've often noticed with these agents is they set up traps. Like I said, when you go outside, they're already waiting for you, or they'll be hanging around, and there'll be random people. And one thing I want to add is not that when you're being followed, and what we talk about when we say targeted individuals are being followed, it's not that this one person is following us around everywhere. No, we're saying that a mass of people are following us. Like, and they just have, so it's like they will never be the same person. It may never be the same person. It may be the same person. It could be, but what's common is it's never the same person. They come, like different people come into environments, and then the rest are just normal people being hijacked by them. One thing, and when I'm talking about the Secret Service and their activities and their interactions with the community, is I'm reading a book which talks about secret societies. And it talks about, like, I might list them in a future video, actually. I will list them in a future video. I will talk about that later. But these secret societies, it was saying that, they are everywhere. Like, every industry, every job, so even your workplace has these members as part of it. But they were saying the post office is actually, so another person was saying that, so for example, the post office. So when you get your post, And they talk about like they hex or they curse things or they put spells on things. So your posts, even going through the post office, like that place is like heavily controlled. So all of that stuff as well. So you can pray over your things. I will encourage you to do whatever you feel you urge to do. I wouldn't say do all of these because I don't want to make some big lists of like everything you have to do this. I don't do everything, but I'm trying to incorporate as much as I can. But do what you feel is necessary. Of course, like this is also the systems that they use are natural systems as well. But just pray. I think in the Bible it says pray without ceasing. Just pray over everything, especially your family and just keep praying over yourself. Keep praying over everything, like to cleanse all negative like spells and all those traps set for you, like all that type of stuff. This is another thing. I didn't know whether I wanted to say this to you, or I didn't know if I wanted you to have to ruminate on this, but they do rape and they do abuse constantly your spirit. They do this constantly. So it's a consistent, and I think part of it is like, I don't know, parasites, they make out like, even if you have parasites in your body, they're constantly, mating. They're constantly mating. That's how and these are like that. Now, this actually goes on to another topic that I want to talk about. So I don't want to make this video to be long, but I've got probably like another 10 minutes. But yeah, so it goes on to another thing that I wanted to talk about. So this mating thing, they do this, they're constantly raping your spirit soul, but sometimes it's not aggressive. So what I would say is like, sometimes it's like they use honey traps. This is what I'm trying to say. They use honey traps. The way that their system works is that they constantly draw energy from the person they're targeting. And this is why the whole surveillance system affects everybody. Everybody is affected by this, whether you want to believe it or not. Everybody is affected by this. They're constantly raping your spirit. And the thing is, they will do things like they will say that they're married to you. And I don't know why they do this. It's weird. But they will marry you to somebody in the spirit. Now, this is what Freemasons do. They marry children. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but I've seen it myself on a video. But yeah, they will marry you in the spirit realm, and then they'll use that to constantly rape. Well, they all say making love or whatever, but it's constant rape and abuse. So they will abuse, and then, that goes on to my other point, but I'll come back to that in a second. They will constantly rape and abuse your spirit. Now, most people are filled with loads and loads and loads of spirits. So you can't feel it on the physical level. It's something that goes on when you awaken, when you start to cleanse yourself of all these entities, you start to feel what they're doing to your spirit, like to your soul. So that's partly spiritual, but I always say spiritual realm is just like a smaller thing than we can see. It's just like bacterial realm, like or like plant microbes and stuff. I have a video on that, which is quite interesting, but I won't go into it today. So anyway, they do that. So they try to marry you. So they'll give you a husband, or it depends what your orientation is. They'll give you somebody who fits your sexual orientation that you prefer, and then they'll constantly abuse you using that person. So don't think, so if you feel like this is to my targeted individuals, if you feel like you have a husband or wife in the spiritual realm that loves you and all that stuff, that's down to you. But to me, I know what they are, and I know what their caliber, like the content of their character is. So I would not entertain that type of stuff. So I rebuke all of that type of stuff. So yeah, finding the right words to protect yourself is very important. I do encourage you to do that however you feel necessary. Then I think I'm nearly finished. So the electromagnetic frequencies that they send to you, they are done all day, every day, but they can be varied, and don't try to think that it's coming from just one direction. They can alternate where it's coming from. So as I showed you in a video yesterday, this morning's video, they can send signals from different locations, like wherever you go. And I use that device to test it, and they have been attacking me using that, like from all different directions. So yeah, no home is immune, especially the way they design modern houses. They do it purposefully so that they can access the person in the house, but they also do it when you're outside as well. So a lot of the tactics they use is mind games. Like I say, do not expose your belief if you can avoid it, because they will use your beliefs against you. So that is very common. Even if you don't believe in anything, they still can attack you. So, I just want you to be aware of that. So most of these Secret Service agents are just sheep. They have no, from my experience, they have no depth. They have no intellects. They just doing what they've been told to do. They have the freedom to exercise and do the things they want to do in the way that they feel fit. But other than that, they're just sheep, just doing their jobs, I guess. But yeah, they it's just one of those things. like I said, they have no depth, no soul. That's how I've experienced them. I've very rarely seen anyone of good caliber involved in my situation, at least. So I don't know about everybody else's, but I've never experienced anyone of good caliber in my situation. Yeah, and I would just say, like, try it. Your attention is the most important thing. So focus your attention on things that you want and not on, like, things that are not beneficial. So sorry, there's ads just suddenly starting appearing everywhere. I'm just trying to kill them while I'm doing this video. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, like I said, they have monitoring spirits on animals and insects as well, just on that note. So it could be flies, ants, whatever. So, if you have an infestation in your house, it could be that. Now, as I say, because they use the technology that is connected to nature, which is like plant nature and parasite nature and viruses and bacterium and all those type of things. It's very intertwined. That's how they can connect and influence different people. Ooh, the ant just fell. Anyway, yeah, I will put the ant thing down. But yeah, they can do that. So they will, like I said, distraction is this is what I'm talking about. Distraction is a very useful technique for them. So focus on what you need to focus on. I'm almost finished. So they will create. So this is actually going to another part, but I will quickly summarize it here. They will create and harass you based on fake issues. So they will pick a problem with you, they'll harass you on it, and they'll make you believe that that's the reason why you're being harassed. It's not true. It's just a tactic they use to torment people. And then I'll just say this: they are the cause of all your problems in your life, all the traumas you have in your life. They are the cause. They create these situations. The system, that's how the systems operate. That's what the secret services do. They create issues in people's lives. They monitor people from when they're very young, and then they'll trigger that trauma as you get older, because that's how they control people. Because this is MK Ultra mind control as well. So they use mind control. They will create traumas in a person. As that person, whenever they want to influence the person, they would trigger that trauma. And then sometimes they will pretend that they're the solution to the problem, but it's just them artificially creating problems in your life. So this is why everybody has to wake up, because it affects your happiness in life and your ability to live. Like, we could live in heaven right now. We could be on heaven right now, but because of the way that they behave in their tactics, we live in a low vibrational environment. So the way that, because the technology is parasitic, or like it uses natural mini bio systems, like nano biosystems, the only solution we have that we can try, I guess, is like clearing, assuming they're parasites, and use the same techniques we use to clear parasites. Also, heavy metals from the body, like I say, they spray all this stuff in the air. It's in our food, it's in the ground, they polluted the earth. So the parasites involved at the higher level, that's the technique they use to control and influence people. If you don't understand what I'm talking about now, just refer back to my older videos. So anyway, that's what I wanted to add. Now I'm going to show you the video of what I saw yesterday. So all I will say to you is, I went to an event yesterday about spirituality. It was about African spirituality. And there was a guy there who was an agent. Now, I don't want to show people's faces, so hopefully you won't be able to see faces. But I will identify the guy who was involved. Because as soon as I went into the building, or to the room where we were having the talk, I sat down. He was standing in the corner, looking at face. So I'm sitting at the back, looking forward, and he's standing at the back, looking left, like across towards me, instead of looking forward to the speaker. And then he's positioned his chair, looking in my direction. And I could feel things at the time, like I could feel the attacks that were happening at the time. So he was positioning himself in my direction for most of the talk. He was even weird enough to, he had his own slideshow that he wanted to. He wasn't even part of the event. A slideshow that he wanted to show. Like, he wanted to connect his USB to the main presenter's computer and do a slideshow. I'm like, what? It just all very, very strange. And so what I did, I avoided him, obviously. But I wanted to show you a video to see what I mean. So we did break up into group discussion. So we all had to move our positions, and he was just there. He remained where he was. So when you see this video, this is him remaining exactly where he is. He's wearing a blue t-shirt, a baby blue t-shirt. So that's the guy, and he's faced towards me. And he was there even when we went in our odd positions. So that's why I just wanted to let you know so that you're aware when you come to a environment. That is when they're being overt targeting. Most times you wouldn't be able to notice. But when they're overtly targeting you, this is what you will notice. There were two other white guys who were there. The only two white guys there. But when I left, I didn't pretend I was leaving. But when I went downstairs and I came back, they had gone because they probably thought I had left. This might sound crazy, but I've been through this long enough to know what's going on now. I wanted to show you the video, but now it's not letting me upload it. So I thought I'd just take a picture and then put it up here instead. So that's another thing that I wanted to mention. And then also they will come to your environment. When you become awake to what's going on, I often hear them commenting outside my house. Like they'll hang around and comment and be insulting you outside your house. That's another thing. If I ever experience it again, I will record it and then hopefully you'll get to see what I'm talking about. But anyway, and they'll use media like TV and people around you to talk to you, to talk to you indirectly. So that's another thing that I wanted to mention. They talk to you indirectly. So people who say they can hear things in the radio or on TV, or they hear people talking and feel that they're talking about them, they can do that. They can make you hear things indirectly. And mostly they're talking about the message they're trying to deliver you, or like they're complaining about you or something like that. So yeah. The last thing I'm going to add is honey traps again. Now, they will send people that you're attracted to your environment because you'll be more open to them. So all the attractive people you come across, like, try not to be moved by them at all. Like, try to, it's like, well, I'm only speaking for myself. I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm just saying that they use people, they'll get attractive people to come to your environment or people that you'll be interested in because they think they can cross over from you to them, or they'll use them to get access to you. So yeah, I pay no attention to anyone no matter what they are, but as I say, they use street theatre to try and distract you and other methods to try and distract you. But yeah, so I those things, I'm just saying, don't be moved by people no matter what they are. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. So anyway, that's it. Apologies for the shoddy recording, but I can't bother to edit it too much, so here you go. But I hope it makes sense. Yeah, I'll speak to you guys later. Bye.